The third perspective that we are going to look at this question with is, as much as I'm looking for a relationship, I don't want to lose myself. I want intact. There is a possibility when people get into a relationship, they lose themselves for the relationship. They start living the life of the other person. They start honoring the desires and the commitments of that relationship, and they forget their own identity. And therefore, as much as I need someone to share my life with, I still need to keep my identity intact. I want to keep my personal dreams. I want to keep my personal, my personal these things for my own self. And there are majority of people who share their life with. One, they get the capacity to form a relationship which is successful and permanent. And because of the permanency of this relationship, they are able to achieve a lot in life, and their levels of self-esteem still goes high. We needed to pick that one. On the contrary, when the individual lacks the capacity to form a relationship, one, they feel isolated. The second thing, you feel like a failure. You feel like you don't have what it takes to carry a relationship, maybe to a long term or to the permanency that we are talking about this morning. And number three, the levels of your self-esteem nosedives. And by nosediving, I mean your self-esteem starts getting lower and lower because you cannot answer the question, what is wrong with me that no relationship am I able to keep? In our second question, whom do I care for? Nitaiangalia kwa mitazamo tano. The first perspective is the need to be needed. The second one is the capacity to create and to care for. And the reason I am saying this is because some of us have already started the families. And by the start of a family, there is need to be needed by the spouse, there is need to be needed by the family, there is the need to be needed by the community that is looking upon you also to do investment in the community you are in. By the starting of a family, you now need to create how to survive and you keep your family intact. There is the need to care for the people whom you have allowed into your life as part of your responsibility. The third perspective, we are going to look at the second question, is the capacity to contribute to the society. The capacity to be a part of the next generation. The capacity for mentoring others. The capacity for guiding people behind you. And the capacity to nurture others who will take over when you graduate to the next stage of growth and development. The further perspective we are going to look at the second question is focus on the family. Focus on your work, where you go to get your daily bread. And we are also going to put, focus on what exactly you're looking for and fighting for in order to become the person that the society is looking upon. With your permission, I want to look at the three possible effects of this stage, 25 to 40. Please allow me to say three statements about this stage, 25 to 40. One, some people are able to form very successful relationships which graduate into marriage, and they have the capacity to form long-term relationships. That is the first effect. The second one, some people are able to enter into a relationship. Unfortunately, the relationship is so shaky. It is built on shaky foundations. And within time, it crumbles down, leaving the person to tell a story. The third effect of 25 to 40 years, some people, because of their own reasons, they make a choice not to engage in any relationship, and they decide to move all alone in their lives. If the above three statements are true, then we have requirements for this stage. And you will allow me to go through them one by one as I invite your mind, number one, if the statements I've made about this stage are true, number one, a person needs a lot of stability. You need a stable thinking capacity, stability of your perspectives, and the stability of decision making. Without stability in this stage, you may as well move forward, but move forward a very shaky person. The second key thing you need in this stage is a lot of sobriety. You need to be a sober man. You need to be a very sober woman, because any relationship demands a lot from you. It demands your soul, it demands your dreams, it demands your identity, and therefore without sobriety, you may find yourself in very murky waters when it comes to the issue of either whom you share your life with or who is that person that you will care for. The third thing that we need between 25 and 40 is a lot of positivity. We are living in a very challenging society. Life is becoming a nightmare daily. There is a lot of negativity within the environments that we are in. And we transit in the stage 25 to 40, you need very high levels of self-esteem. You need to believe in yourself. You need the capacity to be a very balanced person. And by high levels of self-esteem, I mean you understand your very strong areas, you understand your weaknesses, you understand the opportunities you have, and you also understand the weak areas, the threats that you need to address so that you can be the person that this stage so much desires. If you combine stability, I am talking about high levels of self-actualization. You need your life at your fingertips. You need to understand yourself too well so that as you share your life with another person, as you get those, the family, the watotos, the spouse, and everything about it, then you have what it takes to carry other people, on your shoulders as a very stable and a very positive person. What is happening between a 25 and a 40-year-old person? What exactly is going on in their lives? And I want to touch about 6 things that are happening to a person who is between 25 and 40. 1, this is the stage where you move out of the family of origin and you build your own. Can I say that again? There is a graduation from the family of origin. You are moving out of your parents' home so that you can settle on your own. This is the stage you are buying your own property. This is the stage some are building. This is the stage where children are born and some are actually even joining school. This is the stage where some are getting married. This is the time some are even trying to understand and juggle with so many duties that are demanded with these stages that we are in. And therefore, for those of us who are writing, number 1, this is the stage you're looking for: independence. Can I do it my own way? Of course, and we need to say this because we came to talk with each other, there is what you have learned from the family of origin. There is the way you've seen things being done. And you will agree with me, to some, you will transfer them to the independence you're getting. And to others, you will discard them and you look for a new way of doing it out when you're out there on your own. And therefore, number one, this is the stage of independence. And we need to be very honest with each other that this independence can be very advantageous, and the independence can also ruin your life. I'm imagining some of us are coming from a very closed home where rules and regulations are very clear. And you're graduating to an environment you're saying, I no longer need that remote-controlled life. And therefore, as you use your independence, it can be for your advantage, and it can also be to your own disadvantage. The second thing that is happening to 25 and 40-year-olds, this is the stage whereby you relate with your parents as an adult to another one. Sio mzazi na mtoto, ni watu wazima wawili. Can I say that again? During this stage, we are relating with our parents. We are relating with the community, not an authoritative, perspective, but we are relating with each other as an adult. And the greatest challenge we have with our parents here, they wanted to take us as still as the same small boy and the small girl that they knew. They want to dictate who I am to date. They want to dictate which career I go for. They want to dictate so much, and therefore the conflict is born. I am no longer the small boy and the small girl you know. I now can think. I now have a way of doing things. The conflict is born because of looking for a balanced way of, relating and doing things. And I wanted to say in number 2, the parents here can only advise, but the prerogative of making the final decision belongs to the 25-year-old. Please allow me to say that again. Mom, I can listen to you. Daddy, I will give you my airtime. But you will not decide which side I will go. I will give you an opportunity to talk to me. I will give you my ears. But unfortunately, the prerogative of the final choice belongs to me. And this is where parents and the 25-year-olds lose each other. I'm not willing to be told, that is what they say. This is my kingdom, we will not share it together. It's either you shape up or you cheap out. What happens to the 25-year-old? They choose the latter and they cheap out. Between 25 and 40-year-old, they completely lose each other. They will only come to agree maybe in the latter stages of life. Actually, some move away. The same people they were told not to date, they date them and get married to them. And because mom and dad are uncomfortable with it, we won't even come home. We will stay where we are because you've shown us that. The third thing that is happening 25 to 40-year-old is what I am talking about. I am now narrowing down to the independence on decision making. Please allow me to put it once again. The independence on decision making. This is where you make independent decisions on finances. And finances, I mean, do you budget? Do you invest? What exactly do we buy? This is the decision you make, independent decision on marriage. Whom do you want to get married to? When should it be done? How shall it be done? This is the stage you also make independent decisions on job and career, what exactly you want to settle down, where you get your daily bread. And this is the stage also that you make an independent decision on dating, whoever you want to share your life with. The fourth thing that is happening during this stage is the decision on higher education. This is where some people go for their second degree. This is where some others go and they decided to climb the academic ladder. They decide to go back to school, and expand their academic, world and they go to look for other courses, other degrees, so that their academic, environment keep expanding and expanding. Number 5, this is the stage where you also invest in the community around you. Community service. Hapa ndio wengine wanachaguliwa kanisani wawe viongozi. Hapa ndio wengine wanapewa uongozi kwenye jamii, in the community around them. This is where some even go for political seats and leadership roles wherever they are living. Investment. This is where we give back to the community around us. The 60th and key thing that happens between 25 and 40 is maintaining healthy family relationships with the family of origin. And I will keep wondering, just like I said, left with the conflict. What happens to the family that I left with a lot of disagreement on the personal choices that I made? If I were to be asked what happens to such a situation, I would only say I will maintain healthy boundaries with them. I will still keep doors open because we are blood people. We are connected to each other. But because of the personal choices that I made that are in disagreement